I'm your host, Annie Bowles, and this is News du Jour. Hey you guys, and welcome back to the News du Jour, a calmer space to consume the news. So I wanted to let you guys know as a little heads up that I will actually be traveling tomorrow. The News du Jour is scheduled as per usual. However, I will be recording from a different home, so it may not have as great of a sound quality as the space that is designed for it. So just as a heads up. But anywho, I'm excited to be traveling and to go see some of my family. Anywho, we have 2 mini stories for you guys and then 3 longer stories. Let's get into it. So first up, I do have an update from Israel. So this update is basically that the High Court has now agreed to review this new legislation in September. And that definitely is set to draw out this whole debate, but at least that checks and balances system remains established for a little bit longer. We'll definitely keep you guys posted. And for our second mini story today, a crane fell in New York City during some construction. It actually caused a fire that injured 6 people, 4 from the construction crew and 2 firefighters. But during the whole ordeal, a 16-ton load of concrete actually dropped and hit a neighboring building. So honestly, it is a miracle that more people weren't hurt and that no one died during this. Honestly, from looking at the pictures, that was totally a miracle. And for our first longer story today, we're discussing Hunter Biden's legal outlook worsening. So Republicans on Capitol Hill are pissed about Hunter Biden's plea deal, and they went to his judge and asked them to throw the deal out. And the judge is actually considering this. So Hunter is now finding himself in hotter water than he thought he'd be in for these charges. As a reminder, his charges are for tax fraud, for failing to report about $100,000 worth of income, as well as an unrelated firearm charge because he's not supposed to have any guns on him as he is a recovering addict. I was writing this as things were progressing, but as of the time that I'm recording, the judge said that the agreement was, quote, null and void, end quote. So the group began immediately trying to renegotiate a plea deal. The biggest hurdle, according to the judge, was the concept of immunity. So the judge wanted to make it crystal clear that striking this deal over tax fraud and the firearm does not mean that he's immune to further charges on any other matters later on. You see, Republicans in Congress feel that Hunter Biden committed crimes in relation to the work he's done overseas, primarily in Ukraine. They've believed this now for a long time, and they want to make sure that this deal would not prevent them from bringing charges on that subject later on. Where things sit now, the judge has tossed out the plea deal and wants some time to think about things and potentially either strike a new deal or simply clarify the language. We will definitely keep you guys posted. On a somewhat related note, although kind of unrelated at the same time, the Biden's other dog is also a dog that bites. So President Biden's newer dog has now bitten several Secret Service agents, even sending one to the hospital, but 6 of them required medical attention after these attacks. We covered this the first time it happened with a different Biden dog that was sent to live at a different Biden home for a little while to undergo some training. And as I understand it, that first dog is still at a different home, a different location. But unfortunately, it has continued with their other dog, Commander, to the tune of about 10 different incidents. I know personally how attached we get to our dogs, especially German Shepherds and especially rescues, and I know how they can tend to be protective over their owners. This is definitely a hard one. I feel like maybe he needs just one handler who he can get along with and trust, and for everyone else to keep a safe distance for the time being while he's still adjusting to the hustle and bustle of the White House routine. And next up for today, Giuliani owns up. So Rudy Giuliani was at the heart of the election lie drama, if you guys remember. He was definitely a mouthpiece for the president in 2020, and he got up to that podium to advocate loudly for a giant lie. But now, as the president's legal battles are mounting, I get the sense that good old Rudy is shaking in his boots. He needs to get his story straight and do everything he can to avoid being lumped in with the former president in these legal proceedings. So now he has come forward to admit some of his lies. And it's actually important to note that Giuliani actually currently faces 2 defamation lawsuits brought against him in particular by election workers that he specifically accused of election interference. You see, Rudy on live national television played a video of 2 people, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, who are actually mother and daughter, going about their jobs as poll workers. But he claimed that this video footage showed them doing something nefarious, essentially interfering with the election and committing election fraud. And they did not. So this mother and daughter duo took him to court over these false allegations. And now we know for sure that Rudy Giuliani made the whole thing up because he just said as much in a court filing on Tuesday. Rudy Giuliani admitted that he lied about these 2 women and that, to his knowledge, they did not interfere with the election at all. He cleared their names, even if it's after all the damage has already been done. But that's actually the funny thing. Giuliani admitted that he lied, but he stopped short of admitting that this lie had done these 2 women any damage, which is actually key in a defamation lawsuit. Obviously, such a prominent person accusing someone of something illegal on national television would be damaging to their reputation. So it will definitely be interesting to see what, if any, effect this declaration by Giuliani has on his defamation cases. We'll definitely keep you guys posted. And that is the news du jour. Today, I wanted to leave you guys with the quote, "A lie gets halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to get its pants on." If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you use to listen. A rate and review or shout out on social media would mean the world to us and help us be able to keep creating the news du jour. But the best way to support all of our work is to become a patron at www.patreon.com/sugarfreemedia. You can also follow us on social media under sugarfreemedia.co on Instagram and just sugarfreemedia, all one word, on TikTok. Any little noises you may hear in the background are my rescue pup. He has a little separation anxiety and always records with me. We appreciate you listening and look forward to telling you about the news again next time on News du Jour.
Broadcasting from Oklahoma.